The director and the deception, a fight for justice. The pre-dawn stillness of a Georgia morning clung to the air, a soft mist blurring the edges of the winding rural road. Alana Brooks, director of the DEA, drove her silver sedan, the scent of damp pine a familiar comfort. This was her sanctuary, 3 days with family, shedding the weight of her title to simply be an Alana. Marvin Gaye's soulful croon filled the quiet, a gentle counterpoint to the subtle drumming of her fingers on the steering wheel. Then, a glint in her rear-view mirror. A patrol car, too close, its blue and red lights flashing silently like a premonition. Alana pulled over, hands firm, posture straight. It wasn't her first stop, but a prickle of unease tightened her chest as the officers approached. One, older with a square jaw, tapped her window. The younger, Trent, positioned himself near the trunk, a contained hostility in his stance. "Good morning, officer. Is there a reason for this stop?" Alana's voice was serene, but firm as she lowered the window. The older officer's eyes scrutinized her, then her hands. "License and registration," he grunted, a dry voice masking an ill-disguised hostility. "Routine patrol. You were a little out of your lane." "I didn't notice any swerving," she replied, her calm unwavering as she produced her papers. Each movement was deliberate, a practiced choreography of caution. Trent, meanwhile, peered into her trunk. The older officer studied her license, a frown creasing his brow. "Brooks," he murmured. "Visiting family?" She nodded, offering nothing more. He held her license a beat too long, then made a subtle gesture to his partner. "Open the trunk," he ordered. Alana didn't move. "Is that a request or a legal order?" Trent shifted, his hand near his batons. "You got something in there we should be worried about?" "I know what's in my trunk," she responded, "and I'd like to know the basis for checking it." "We don't need to argue, ma'am." The older officer cut in, still holding her license. "You comply now, or we do it the hard way." A tense silence stretched. Alana pressed the trunk release. The soft click echoed in the quiet. Trent disappeared to the rear. Alana stared straight ahead, while the older officer remained by her window, his expression unreadable. Trent returned, holding a transparent plastic bag of white powder. Well, he said, a mocking smile on his face. "Looks like you forgot to pack this, right?" Alana didn't blink. "That wasn't in my trunk." "You sure?" Trent retorted, his smile widening. "I'm sure." The older officer leaned closer, his breath stale. "Ma'am, you're not in Washington anymore. Keep playing the innocent, and we'll make this very uncomfortable." Alana's gaze, sharp but serene, met his. "I know my rights, and I'm invoking them. I do not consent to this search, and I want legal representation. You presented an object that was not in my vehicle, and this is now a formal accusation." The officer raised an eyebrow, a mixture of amusement and disdain. "Now she wants a lawyer," he said to Trent. "You hear that? We got ourselves a law professor." Trent let out a short, joyless laugh. "Maybe she's just nervous. Guilty people talk a lot." "I'm not guilty," Alana responded, her gaze fixed between them. "And if you were confident in this arrest, you wouldn't need to sneer to cover up your misconduct. You know this is illegal, and so do I." The older officer took a step forward, his presence oppressive. "That tone of yours," he murmured, assessing her. "Keep it up, and we'll add obstruction to your file. You think you're someone special, but out here, people learn quick that a badge means follow orders." Alana didn't flinch. "Then follow the law and call a supervisor. Any interaction without one is a direct violation of your own policy." The moment was fragile, charged with tension. The older officer stepped back, his face hardened. "Get out of the car," he ordered, his voice low and curt. "No," she replied, firm but calm. "Not without a supervisor present. You have no right to search me. There's no cause for arrest, and you're holding up a bag of powder you didn't find in my car." The game was over. The older officer opened the door from the inside panel, yanked it open forcefully, and pulled her out. Trent moved quickly, unbuckling her belt and dragging her out. Their movements were coordinated, practiced. They didn't read her rights, didn't explain the charges. They simply pulled her, their handcuffs tightening more than necessary, a deliberate act of pain. Alana didn't resist, but she didn't make it easy either. Her back remained straight, her chin held high. "This is illegal," she stated, her voice imbued with authority. "I have complied with every order. I have offered no threat or resistance. That powder was not in my trunk. I demand your badge numbers and the name of your supervisor." They didn't respond. They led her to the patrol car in silence, pushing her with an almost theatrical indifference. Passing cars slowed, their occupants watching what they believed was a routine arrest. No one knew who she really was. That anonymity was a cruel freedom for the officers and dangerous for her. The unraveling. At the station, the air was thick with stale coffee and disinfectant. The desk sergeant, grabbing a clipboard without interest, recorded the charges, possession and obstruction. But as he entered Alana's name into the system, something shifted. His fingers stilled, his eyes narrowed. The screen flickered, displaying an official photograph and a title, Brooks, Alana, Director, Drug Enforcement Administration. Classified access level 5. Immediate federal contact required. The sergeant paled. "Ma'am, we didn't know," he stammered, reaching for the phone. "I need a secure line now." Alana didn't wait. "Secure the building. Freeze internal access. I want the surveillance record sealed. Every access card blocked and the custody desk secured. This place is under federal control." Echoes of corruption. In less than an hour, the DEA team swarmed the station. Officers Maddox and Calloway had vanished, but the evidence began to speak. The bag of drugs carried a federal tracking code, linked to a drug operation that should never have left a secure warehouse. Someone had stolen federal evidence and used it to frame Alana. The investigation intensified. Records revealed a chilling pattern. Selective stops, mostly of Black or Latino drivers, always without body camera footage. One case screamed for attention. Jordan Lamar, a 22-year-old, dead in custody, ruled a suicide without solid evidence. A bystander's video, never presented, showed Maddox and Calloway arresting him with excessive force. Alana ordered the case reopened, demanding autopsies, phone records, everything related to deaths in custody. Soon, an anonymous informant revealed more. Maddox and Calloway had operated in 5 departments, always near large drug seizures that later disappeared. Every illicit move was protected by an internal system called Sino, a ghost protocol that manipulated records and erased traces. Alana discovered that Sino wasn't just a glitch. It was a deliberate network designed to move seized drugs into the black market under the guise of classified operations. The pursuit led them to an ambush in the Texas desert. Alana led the charge in Houston. They found him in a digital bunker, surrounded by servers and false passports. He didn't resist. His calm was unsettling, as if he knew the system he created could outlive him. Justice, unflinching Alana testified before Congress, exposing every detail of the corrupt network. Mass arrests followed, dismantling entire departments. Sino was destroyed, replaced by Lamar, a transparent system named in honor of Jordan Lamar, ensuring that no case would ever be buried again. When Alana left her last hearing, the sun shone on a city that was beginning to heal. There were no cheers, only the silence of a world that had learned to listen. Justice didn't arrive with fanfare, but with the persistence of a woman who refused to be silenced. Now, the system that once protected the guilty works to protect the innocent. But the question remains, how deep can the system go before someone stops it? What stories have yet to be told? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you're listening from. If this story moved you, share with someone who needs to hear that the truth, though late, always finds its way.